Well, I'm Reverend Jimmy James, operating in the community as Apostle Jimmy James. Spending years here in Kent, at least 9 years here in Kent, working with marginalized communities, specifically homeless communities, people coming out of prisons, and homeless youth, hoping that we can find the putting together and bringing together community members and churches to make sure that we effectively help our communities who are in most need. One of my pet peeves is, as I always tell people in churches, that a homeless person is one good thing for us to feed someone, but the homeless really need a place to live. The hungry need to be fed. The naked needs to be clothed. And as the Bible tells us in Isaiah 58, those are the things that we should be doing. And so I really want to focus on things to say, if we have people who are homeless, let's work together in our community to find a place for them to live, or in the wraparound services that they really do need to help them in their situation. One of the things that we get caught up in is just wanting to put what I like to say is a Band-Aid on the real needs in the community. But as a person of God and a person of faith, I understand that not only am I concerned about their spiritual needs, not only am I concerned that people do need to be fed, but if we really want to help someone, let's make sure that we meet their direct needs. So I'm just continuing to working with community members to do the best that you can to really find out what's going on in your community. Find out how's the city dealing with the homeless community. I really believe here in the city of Kent we can do better. The city of Kent, to me, is not doing all that it can to help the homeless. Just here recently, there was a resource center building that was a city building that taxes are being paid by utility tax here in the city of Kent to help with youth programs. I know that there were a number of organizations who were vying for that building. Eventually what came out of it was the city had decided no one can deserve to use that building, as they may say or put it, that they are not able to maintain the building. But when I believe that when the city members and community members are paying taxes for a building, then why is it that we should pay other monies to use that building? To me, the city should just give the community members and organizations that building so we can, together as a community, help homeless people, and especially the growing number of homeless youth in our community. So I am continuing to work with groups and organizations and individuals who understand that there must be a change in how we serve our homeless community and those who are marginalized.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
Hi, what we do is a job training program for homeless teens and youth at risk, and we teach them what it takes to enter the food service industry and learn the barista program. And our program consists of different things that we do that is important in a youth development. One is to teach them financial management, credit, how important credit is, make sure that they get their GED or continue on to their education, and also we help them teach, we actually want them to learn leadership skills by them working with their peers, and the new students that come in, they become trainers and mentors to the new students until their time is up. We're also hoping to develop a culinary job training program that helps homeless and disadvantaged men and women. And we're still a grassroots company. We're moving forward. There's just a huge epidemic of homelessness, and people have a misconception of homelessness, and we got to help those who are in need. Hopefully, our government can get their act straight, because if not, the youth of today is in more trouble than ever. We as a country are going to be almost a third world country, and we're going to lose our power. And if we can't come to an agreement, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm just interested in seeing people and our country come to understanding that I appreciate the work that we do to help others in other countries. But how can we help other countries if we can't even help ourselves as a nation? And we suffer as well, and our youth suffer. It's just ridiculous. Please, everybody, support us, and let's support and find solutions to help battle homelessness. Because there's a new kind of homelessness. The old type is gone. It's still there. But now we have a different type of epidemic, and we need to take care of our business in our own backyard before we go overseas and help those who are in need. And, I want everybody to join us in this battle. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, so tell us about this possible job opportunity creation that you're.
I mean, it's just a very general idea, but basically, it's with such a large workforce of homeless people that are actively looking for housing and looking for work. There's got to be some way to do some kind of community type of deal where you get a large amount of homeless people together, put them to work, and in return for it, provide housing, food, and some kind of compensation, just to get them on their feet. I mean, not necessarily,
make a career out of it.
Yeah, not necessarily make a career out of it, but at least make them feel
Be productive too.
be productive and actually give them some hope. Because realistically, it gets to a certain point where it gets very discouraging. I would imagine. I've never been homeless, but I can only imagine how discouraging it would have to be out on the streets, for 1 to 3 years. I was just talking to some young people here earlier, and some of them have been on the streets for 3 years looking for work, but they can't find anything just because they've got something on their record, and so they're in a constant loop, and it's really sad because a lot of the times, we always hear about these people being labeled as drug addicts, non-stop alcoholics, so we shouldn't pay them much attention. But actually, I was very surprised to see that most of these people have actually been sober for a while. One guy's been sober for over a year, another's been sober for 6 months, and these are young guys. They're losing sleep because they're not doing drugs, but they're committed to being sober.
Yeah.
I guess my biggest point is that with all these, these are capable hands. They're completely sober, completely competent. There's got to be some kind of labor that they can do that can be sponsored by the city that would be both beneficial to the community as a whole, as well as these people to get them back on their feet.
And were you thinking maybe of doing this as just a community group effort or a non-profit organization?
This is just kind of this is just an idea. I literally just got the idea a couple days ago. I haven't given it too much thought, but it would make. The first thought was non-profit organization, but because so many non-profits right now are getting grants cut, that would be extremely difficult. I don't know how it would work. First thought was non-profit, but it kind of seems like we might be forced, if the idea came to light, we might be forced to do a for-profit. But either way, its success would completely be based on whether the city would be interested in getting homeless people off the streets.
Well, what made you two decide to actually get involved? Because a lot of young people, they don't care. They're out at the mall or goofing around. What made you two decide to do this?
Actually, talking to homeless people and realizing that they're actually normal people. Even today, I just keep on getting more and more surprised. A lot of the time, we're intimidated. Strangely enough, somehow poverty is intimidating or something like that, because even walking down downtown Seattle, it's just like you pretend like they're not even there, even though they're waving their hands at you, trying to get some kind of attention. But if you actually talk to these people, they're nice people. Like I said, most of the people today, they've been sober for a while. It's kind of a shock. I talk to people in Seattle, they're just nice people in general. I mean, a lot of the time it's just like, okay, fine. If you don't want to make a difference, if you don't want to even donate them any money, just communicate with them. I mean, if someone random comes up to you in a suit or in nice clothes and says good afternoon, you're gonna tell them good afternoon. But for some reason, when the homeless are like just trying to communicate to us in some shape or form, we just kind of brush them off like don't look them in the eye. So
Wow.
I don't know. I guess that's just me being kind of real, but it is a real problem, and especially with the current economic climate, it's only going to get worse. And if we keep on pretending like it's not there, I mean, we might end up in the same position in a few years.
And you guys, you were born in Russia, right?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. So how long have you been here?
Been here for 20 years.
Oh, so you came here young.
Yeah, I was raised here.
So you heard stories from about a different kind of poverty over there too, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we grew up with stories of poverty, of people literally starving to death. I mean, it's bad here, don't get me wrong, but over there, I mean, the stories that we grew up with were
A lot worse.
yeah, a lot worse. I mean, I'm not going to get into detail, but
it was bad.
You guys can look up the genocides and just look up Ukrainian genocide and
You'll see it for ourselves.
and see it for yourself, because our fathers and grandparents went through
Worse.
Starvation.
Starvation.
their own stuff. So.
Wow. So that says a lot that you two, as young men, are stepping forward like that. And then, how about you, Serge? How did you? I mean, do you feel the same as your friend Yuri here?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be not really nice person around here, and then I started going to church and stuff, and I realized if church not gonna do anything about it, nobody will. And it's time for us as a community to work together and fix this. So.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So and then Yuri, it was kind of funny because he was sitting here looking at me for a minute, and then I remember he said, "Hey, I saw you on Invisible People."
Yeah, shout out to Invisible People.
Yeah.
That's legit. That's another thing that kind of tugged on the heartstrings a little bit and was a little bit of a reminder of what it's like around here. Just, I mean, the reality is that most people don't even know that this stuff exists, and I think that if it's legitimately advertised and if it's legitimately kind of brought to light, I mean, it's not like people want people, to be living out on the streets. I think it can become something beautiful, and the community can get more involved, and we can get these people off the streets. But at the end of the day, I mean, we just got to help each other out, because there's no telling where each and every one of us will be in 5 years.
And then you two just helped that homeless young man get a new pair of shoes. So what was that like?
It's just a pair of shoes. I mean, it's just a pair of shoes. The point isn't to go out here and make yourself feel good. He's gonna wear those shoes out too. I mean, they're just shoes, but.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
But I think that was a great deal, because he had no idea where he was going to get a next pair of shoes, and then you two came along. It just happened to be in the right time, right place in the right time, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, but the point wasn't, to good deed of the day. I mean, we were trying to tell him about Jesus and how Jesus can help him get him out of the situation.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a materialistic problem. It's a state of the heart, and I mean, as long as people,
Yeah. Right, thanks a lot.
I wasn't really expecting to be answering that question.
But see, it shows that, like you said, and I think a lot of people miss it. It's not about making you feel good. There's a bigger agenda, really. Our humanity, our compassion. So I'm just glad you guys took the time to talk to me today.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.